Down here, there's no noise. Just focus, precision, patience. Every image starts in the dark. And for a fraction of a second, a soul gets exposed. Some chase the shot. Others live inside it. Both expose the truth. Rage.
Nikki Bella wants the Women's World Championship.
Resolve.
Can Roman Reigns trust CM Punk and vice versa?
Revenge.
You want your rematch for the Intercontinental Championship? No problem.
Tonight, two teams step into frame.
These two teams will be locked inside the War Games cage.
Each fighting to define the same image. The face of a champion.
Let's do it! Scores will be settled. Bodies will be broken.
This is Survivor Series War Games.
Gentlemen, welcome to the least requested, least demanded, and the least downloaded wrestling podcast, PCW. This could be a long podcast, so strap in and shut up and don't be a little bitch about it.
To the masters.
The question is, are you
let me talk to you. I will give you a show like you have never, ever seen before. Why? Because I can.
What do you guys want to talk about?
I am that damn good.
I am the B-E-S-T.
And the color red in a world full of black and white. I am the eater of worlds. Yeah, to get some love. Acknowledge me.
The champ is here.
But to be the man, you gotta beat the man. And I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, yo.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to another episode of PCW Podcast Championship Wrestling. I am your host, Wayne, also known as Semi-Dry Chicken, and we are going to review board games. Board games? Yeah, it kind of felt like board games. Not so much
War games!
But you know what? Before I get into the review and we break this down, and we discuss how this was not the best pay-per-view of the year, let me bring in my co-host.
It's on me now, Woof.
Hey, I'm gonna get them all. I'm gonna get them all, Woof. Yeah! I'm gonna get him.
What's up, Oos?
Yo, what it do, PCW crew? Main event Dre Uso is back on your podcast. And if you see me out here in the streets with chicken legs, y'all can blame these guys for making me cut my leg day short to be here.
This guy, he had to postpone the show because he had to hit the gym. He had to get jacked because, you know, what's important for a podcast, Dre, is being the best shape of your life. Being super fit for the podcast.
Hoochie daddy bodies are built in the winter, not the summer. I'm trying to get chose by somebody grandmama next summer.
All right. Wonderful. All right, let's bring him in here. The man.
I have voices in my head, they counsel me, they understand, they talk to me. You got jewels in your religion, all designed to keep you safe. But when wolves...
Tyler, welcome back to the show. Thanks for pinching yourself in here.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm always glad to be here, and I'm still kind of rolling a little bit from Dre's intro. I'm sorry about that.
Were you yeeting all over the place?
Funny. Oh my god! I mean, I don't know about yeeting all over the place, but I'm pretty hard.
I mean, if you need to, we can pause the show. You can grab a towel and clean up after you've been yeeting all over the place. I mean, I get it.
We're good. Good.
No Doyle today. You know, I'm starting to think that maybe Doyle is doing, like, another wrestling podcast. Like, that's why
He's joined another faction.
Dude, like, I'm saying this with quotes, you know, because he's busy. Yeah, okay. Doyle, you're busy. Okay. I think he's doing another podcast. And I don't think it's like, you know, I don't think it's revisiting the Mania, you know. Props to them and Carlos. I don't think he's on that podcast. He's just on another podcast, spitting facts about wrestling, you know. I know it. I feel it.
Or did he pull a Triple H during the first run of DX and decide to go solo to do something, you know, different on his own? Yeah.
Not Doyle. Maybe he has his own podcast and we just don't know it.
Hey,
oh, man.
See?
You don't know. He could have like a podcast where he talks about drawing, you know, doodling with Doyle, you know.
Doyle's doodles.
Oh shit, Dre, are you eating anything right now? Because normally you're always eating.
Am I
something.
eating anything?
Yeah, are you eating anything? Because you're always eating during the show.
I mean, tonight is just a roasted chicken sandwich and a overpriced protein shake. The little core power joints you be seeing at the corner store.
Yeah.
Little protein drinks. Yeah. Didn't I realize this elite one with 42 grams was $6 damn.
Wow.
Jeez.
It's crazy when you pay for a drink.
Protein milk, that is obnoxiously overpriced.
Yeah, when you're paying for a drink that's over $6 or $7 and there's no alcohol in it, it's like, holy shit, you better make me feel like Superman then. You know? These protein shakes. Holy crap. Oh, yeah.
Better have the amino acids and everything in it.
Yeah. You guys ready to discuss board games?
Yes and no.
I want to talk about that, and then I want to talk about the epic Monday Night Raw that we didn't get. So
that we you had me hyped up for a second. I was like, damn. I was about to say, what did I miss?
Do you know what? Triple H had everybody else fucking hyped up too. I'm reading all these reports. Oh, Monday Night Raw is gonna be epic. I'm like, okay, All right. I mean, here's the thing: is you got me, Triple H, because the past couple of weeks you've had some good fucking Raws, right? We've had Brock Lesnar come back, we've had Roman Reigns come back, we've had AJ Lee return, and I understand it was all getting it ready for the pay-per-view. I get it, but the fact is, and we've been having this John Cena tournament, which to me has been kind of enjoyable. So the Monday Night Raws the past couple of weeks have been persistently good, and then Hunter's like, yeah, we're kicking ass, aren't we? He's like, you know what? I'm just gonna call it right now. 4 weeks in a row, we're gonna be epic next week, right off of the heels of War Games, you know. I don't know. Maybe not so much for me. We're going to discuss it because there's a bunch of stuff I want to discuss about Raw then, and then possibly what we can get on SmackDown. So, Dre, if you want to kick us off here with
War Games!
Go nuts.
Yeah, sure.
Sounds so
typical.
excited.
Survivor Series War Games this year took place from San Diego at a baseball stadium.
Yeah.
Of all places. Petco Park, where the Padres play. And, I mean, monetarily, it had to have worked out for them because they had an attendance of over 46,000 people in there for Survivor Series, which I think is probably the largest attendance they've ever had for a Survivor Series.
Right.
Biggest gate ever probably for that. So, in that regard, they'll probably chalk it up as being, it was a massive success. It was great. We broke records, like they always love to say, another record-breaking PLE, yada, yada. So, for them, yeah, it made money.
Right.
For the viewer, that being us, I'm sure it was probably a bit lackluster, as you called it, board games, which, yeah. This one, before we even get into the individual matches themselves, let's just talk about how very mid this PLE was. I'm not going to be as hyperbolic as some have been and say that the PLE was total trash or just garbage. I won't go that far. But it was very, very mediocre. Only 4 matches for one, which somehow this thing still managed to be, damn near 3 hours, I think?
Yeah.
With only 4 freaking matches?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they filled in them gaps with hella ads or BS.
Yeah.
So I remember at least, 2 matches in, looking at the time, and it was 8:30, and I'm like, we're an hour and a half into this bitch, and we've only had 2 matches. What the fuck? But yeah, the general consensus I think from most viewers coming out of this show is that it is a very mediocre show, very much under-delivered, and most people were not satisfied with the product they gave us.
Right.
And I'll include myself among that. I assume y'all feel generally the same.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably Tyler's probably over there like, this is the best pay-per-view of the year, right? I got myself a War Games T-shirt and everything.
That's right, you were there, Tyler, weren't you?
No,
I wasn't. No,
okay,
Wayne had a viewing party, so I was over there watching it with him and Drew, and it was. Overall, I will agree. It felt like watching a Monday Night Raw or a SmackDown that was kind of just like a coast episode where it just is made to carry along storylines.
Yeah.
I think it was a lot of the better matches were at the front end of the pay-per-view as back end, like you would typically see for your bigger stories. And it was disappointing, to say the least. I think, those first 2 matches over deliver as far as what my expectation would have been for those individual matches, and then the ones that I expected to be the bigger bang were like a fizzle and a pop. Like what you said to the gate numbers, like the 46,000 attendance and everything. Like, yeah, for them it worked out, but I would be willing to bet that those that came and spent the money to be there, along with everybody else watching at home, were less than pleased with what they paid to see at the end of the day.
Yeah, I'd be curious to hear the thoughts and opinions of somebody who was actually in attendance there. I know that we do have somebody in our Discord who was in attendance, and they popped in while we were chatting during the actual show itself. He said the crowd there was pretty hype and throughout the show. But of course, that's in the moment when things are happening and such. I wonder if, having had a few days to digest it, looking back, if those people still feel like they enjoyed it or still feel,
Right.
Like it was a good show. They may feel that way. I'll admit, I haven't been disappointed in a single live WWE event that I've attended live in person, even if on TV the product may have been, fairly mediocre.
Right.
That's just natural, what comes with the difference of being at any kind of event live versus viewing it. So, but let's go ahead and dive into these matches here. So, first match on the card was the women's war game match. Team Rhea. Wonder why they called it Team Rhea, but whatever. Team Rhea with obviously Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Charlotte Flair, Io Sky, and AJ Lee facing Team Asuka. Wow, they call it Team Asuka? Okay. Asuka, Kairi Sane, the Kabuki Warriors, Nia Jax, Lash Legend, and Becky Lynch. This match went on for
too long,
just over 41 minutes. We saw Team Rhea pick up the victory when AJ Lee put Becky Lynch into, what's that finisher called? The Black Widow or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And made Becky Lynch tap out, something she has vehemently denied on social media since then. And this match for me was just okay. Wasn't a bad match. Wasn't a great match. Women have definitely put on better war games in the past. This one just seemed kind of straightforward, paint by numbers, basic. I mean, we got our typical Io Sky trash can spot. She put a little razzle dazzle on it, and since doing a flip from the top as opposed to just yeeting herself dead weight off the top and crashing everybody. But at the same time, when it's been done so many times, it kind of loses its luster. Because now everybody's just like, all right, well, we're waiting for Io to jump off the top with the trash can. Oh, there it is. Well, I will say what was one thing about that moment that was kind of cute that made me chuckle a bit was the fact that AJ Lee was the one trying to give her the trash can, and she's jumping and struggling. She can't reach Io. So then Rhea comes over there and is like, would you like a hand? And AJ's like, yes, please. And so she gives her a boost on her shoulder to get it up there. I do think that I like that part. That was cute. I think Lash Legend had a pretty decent showing in the match as well, being that she was the last one to come out for her team, right?
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
She
came out last and pretty much cleaned house in there, which I kind of expected that for her, given that she is more or less the rookie in this match alongside AJ Lee, but overall the least experienced one of the 10 competitors in this match. So her coming out last, still fairly new to the crowd and being on the main roster, she's to come out there, wreck shop, look strong, and then she gets taken out with the miss from Asuka, which takes her out of the picture and helps protect her, keep her safe. So that was pretty much expected. Other than that, I don't really know of any other noteworthy or memorable moments from the match. I mean, yeah, AJ Lee came out and Becky tried to keep her from getting in, and to which AJ Lee just climbed over the top of the cage like, duh. Top is open. Obviously, I can climb in. So, decent common sense storytelling of using your brain as opposed to acting like, oh my gosh, she's blocking the door. However will I get in this cage? Charlotte had a nice outfit that they brought up with that was designed by that young girl that she's befriended with the brain cancer.
Yeah.
Which fortunate that they sold that story, because admittedly when she first walked out, I was like, what the fuck is Charlotte wearing?
Yeah, it made all sense once they said it. I was like, oh, okay. Right. And I was like, that's awesome though. That she
then they
did
told
that
the story,
for
it
her.
was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, to make her whole gear though for that, I was like, that's pretty damn cool. Like that she did it for her. So once you found out the reason,
designed it, I don't think the girl actually stitched it or put it together.
No, you know what I mean though, like the coloring and whatnot. But yeah, I thought that was cool because it wasn't like a part of the outfit. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just gonna do like my boots. It was like the whole thing. So I thought that was pretty cool.
I thought that was actually pretty dope. But what thoughts did you have about the match, Wayne?
All right, well let's start off by like this arena. We've done it before in baseball fields where we have we did it at the Rumble where we had the long ramp that does the L, the bend, and I kind of liked it because they have that long run, and it's funny because I guess if you're in the ring you really can't see, but you can hear it though, right? So that was cool seeing the long ramp. We don't have the shark cages this year, so that was notably different. No shark cages, which means that they would come out in a Rumble-like style. Like, it was so random of the order of who was coming out, and I think that, like, for me, that really took it away from War Games, because look at last year when we had the cage. The interaction with Punk and Rollins and Punk and Roman in the cage, like just the interaction between them. That one time Punk went up and I forget who it was who he slapped in the face that was in the cage. You know what I mean? Like the interactions, you could tell stories within the cage, and we did that last year. With the whole, Punk trying to go out and Roman putting his arm up. Like, we got none of that. We got none of that this year because now it's a Rumble-like style. And I don't know if it's because of where it was, because of the type of the layout, which I would understand, why we didn't get the shark cages and why we had to do it this way. But why did we also get just 2 rings and a steel cage? We didn't get the I was showing somebody who hasn't seen a War Games match before. I was showing them a War Games match with the top of the cage on it, and I look like an idiot now. Like I look like a liar. Well, like you're a liar. It's like, well, if I showed you a Hell in a Cell and it ended up just being a steel cage.
Yeah, that's a valid point to bring up.
Right. I mean, and that changes, Dre. I mean, think about it with AJ Lee climbing up over the top. You wouldn't have that if we had the top on the cage. That wouldn't have been a thing. Cody Rhodes doing his spot on the top wouldn't have been a thing. I don't know why. I don't know if it was a traveling issue or an issue just of the arena, or is this a new thing?
As far as the top of the cage thing, it's always been open ever since WWE took it over. The only time that original War Games, yes, as it was originally conceived by Dusty and how it always took place back in WCW, the cage was closed off on the top, yes. And it was much shorter. Mm-hmm. Like, back in the day, if you look at some of them old War Games matches, you could literally see somebody getting gorilla pressed into the top of the cage. That's how confined it was. But once... Yeah, but after that ended and once WWE decided to bring it back, the entire time it's been in WWE, the cage has been open at the top because they wanted to have those high flying spots, those, big flashy spots that you can only have with an open top cage, whether it's somebody like EO jumping off the top, or you get a stack of people and you get some giant pyramid suplex or stuff like that, or suplexes and slams and all that stuff from the top ropes, that if you have a closed off cage, you're limited in terms of your abilities to do that. Just look at the Elimination Chamber and how hard it is for them to pull off certain spots because of that being a closed off, a roofed off apparatus.
Yeah.
So that's just the WWE thing as far as the top of the cage. But the shark cages thing, yeah, that was an interesting choice to not include that this year. And I'm guessing it has partially something to do with the venue and the fact that it was a stadium, and they wanted to dedicate most of that floor space to seating,
right?
And therefore they opted to go, I guess, with the long runway out. Maybe they also wanted to do it just for, maybe they think that's better presentation because you don't know who's coming out next, and then you can get to, we're going to play their theme and get the pop of their theme or what have you when they come out.
Right, but it's like,
and
who out of these 4 people in the back are coming out? It's not like the Rumble, man, where it's like 30 people. It's like, who out of these 4 people are coming out?
And but I mean, it does.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think on a small level, it does kind of work a little bit because I don't think any of us expected, Lash Legend to be the last person to come out on the women's team. Yeah. On the women's heel on Team Asuka. I don't think we expected Rhea Ripley to be the second one to come out, or second or third to come out. So as far as to their credit, they did switch up the order a bit from, I think, what we kind of expected. I'm pretty sure most of us probably would have thought that, Becky Lynch and was going to be the last one to come out, but Becky was the second one out, right?
Yeah.
Or was Becky first?
She was the first for her team.
Yeah, she was the first for her
Becky
team.
Started off.
Yeah, because she came out with her kendo stick, and we got a little moment between Becky and Charlotte, and I'm just like, man,
right. Yeah,
I know
Becky
we've
and
seen
Charlotte
these
started off the match.
We've seen these two go at it like a million times, but like they always level up next time we see them go against each other. And I was like, I would like to visit Becky and Charlotte just one more time.
I'm sure we will at some point.
A heel Becky
to their
and a
credit,
face Charlotte.
So by not having the shark cage, at least that's one thing that they were able to do is give us some element of surprise or mystery as far as who was going to come out and who was going to be next. And honestly, with these teams, I don't know how much interpersonal dynamics we could have gotten between them in the cage. It's not like so much like last year where you had Roman and CM Punk in a cage together, two guys who at the time clearly didn't like each other, but having to put up with each other in their cage, and then, CM Punk wanting to come out there and Roman stopping him saying no, and sending, I think, Jay or Jimmy or one of them out in this place. So, I mean, there were definitely storytelling elements to be told under that match in those circumstances. I don't know how much of that would have existed, especially in this women's match, because really the only source of tension that existed at all was between Charlotte and Rhea, briefly. I mean, and they seem to have resolved that before the War Games match started, so I don't know that the shark cage would have been needed or would have added anything in this, just in the case of this year.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we kind of all knew obviously the trash can spot, right? We all saw that coming like a mile away. The whole Kairi Sane coming in with a chain, didn't see that. Did find it kind of useless, actually. Rhea had a really unique mask. It's from a movie I'm not familiar with, but I'm sure it's very popular.
For those who are fans of the horror genre, yes, it is.
Yeah, terrifying.
Inspired by what was the name of that franchise? I've heard of it. I haven't watched it though.
Is it Terrifier?
Terrifier. The main antagonist name is Art the Clown.
Art the Clown. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I can't wait till she gets the damn mask off. She looks so fucking goofy with it on though.
The whole. I didn't realize though that not just the mask, but her whole outfit was Art the Clown inspired. So like he's got a black and white clown jester type motif, and it played through her whole all of her ring gear instead of just the mask.
Mm-hmm. And you're right, Dre. They did make Lash Legend look pretty strong when she came in, and I was happy. I was like, she came in last, probably, which was probably best for her. I mean, there's a lot of spots to call in a match like that, so maybe having somebody like her coming out last worked out well in her favor. She got a bunch of good spots. I did think it was funny when Io was doing the trash can spot off the top, that Becky was smart enough to like move out of the way and let everybody else take it. And but she paid for it in the end. She got like everybody's finisher, which I thought was great. Maybe it's like the second I realized this isn't the War Games match I was expecting. Like as I mean, as in like the look of the cage, the not having people in the shark cages themselves. Like I was kind of like right off the bat, I was like, great. Like disappointed, But I'm sure I wasn't the only one, and I did hear a lot of reports about people had problems seeing anything. The views were very obstructed, and there were poles in the way and stuff. And there was a guy who went and complained about a pole in his way, and he couldn't see anything, and they relocated him to like cheaper seats. And basically, he didn't get any money back. So I think he's trying to dispute that. Being moved to like cheaper seats and have, after where you're sitting you're sitting in front of a pole, but like whose fault really is that? Is that the venue's fault? Is that WWE, the way they set up their stage? Like, I mean, I'm sure we've all had it going to an event. We've had either two things. You had something obstructing you, you can't see shit, or you have light constantly in your face. So it's one of the two.
Yeah.
But,
when he says, I'll be curious to know, like when the guy says there was a pole in his way, was it part of the WWE setup that was obstructing his view, or was it a structure of the baseball stadium?
Yeah. I think it was WWE structure. Because they were just standard seats, I guess, where he was sitting. Like it was, I guess any other venue would be fine. But I'm sure, like if I go and look back,
a pole that's
well, it's anytime they do these open arena things, we've seen them at WrestleManias even do a Hell in a Cell. They did a Hell in a Cell with, was it Bray Wyatt and Undertaker, and I was like, how are they gonna hide an entire Hell? Was it those two? No, I forget who it was. There was a Hell in a Cell, and they like hid it in the middle of the day, like hiding it above, between the Titantron. Like, that's interesting. The Jumbotron, I guess. But anyway, for the first match, I wasn't.
To that guy, I would just say like, if it's part of the WWE structure that was a pole that was in your way,
yeah,
tough titties, dude. I mean, you paid for the seat. You didn't, you got that seat. If some of their setup happens to obstruct your view, I don't know that anything can be done about that.
Mm-mm. And by the time something can be done, it might be a little too late. So
yeah, their setup is their setup. You think they're sitting there putting this all together and then being like, okay, now we all need to check all these seats in the arena and see if any of these 46,000 seats are obstructed by the setup that we have. And if they are, then what? We got to redesign the setup at the last minute? We got to contact those people who purchased those tickets and be like, hey, we see that you bought this ticket, and part of our setup this year has a pole that might obstruct your view. So, like, They're not going to do all that. It's the chance that you take when you purchase these tickets. So you kind of have to deal with it. I mean, when I got my tickets for SmackDown at the Scope, I thought I had a great seat. And for the most part, I did. But there was a part in the beginning where one of the WWE cameramen had their camera set up directly in my line of sight. Like, directly in front of me enough that I could not see a part of what was happening in the ring unless I leaned to the side. I'm not going to sit there and be like, what I'm going to do, go up to the cameraman, like, hey, man, get the fuck out of my way, dude. Like, no.
Customer's always right.
I mean, yeah, but that guy's got a job to do. He has a product to film.
That's
it comes
true.
with it. Yeah. So, I mean, I can't fault him. He's doing his job. This is the seat I chose. I see what I see. And it's not like he didn't block my view the entire night. It was maybe like for part of main event, which was recorded prior to SmackDown. So by the time the actual SmackDown stuff took place, he was out of the way. So, I mean, it's a minor inconvenience. So there was a pole that obstructed your view. You be all right. You'll live. I'm pretty sure it didn't block. That one pole, I'm pretty sure, was not so big that it blocked 2 entire rings of action.
No.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
Tyler, what did you think of this match?
Well, in going off of the, the whole the complaint about the cage and everything, I've just been sitting here like comparing this year's cage to cages in the past, and there's really no difference at all. I mean, with the exception of, I think the first year they did War Games where the panels came together. It was just one pole as opposed to 2 different panels coming together. So that space is just ever so slightly wider.
Yeah.
But that's neither here nor there. For the first War Games that I was able to watch and enjoy from front to back, I'm going to put this one, I would say this one was number 2 for the night as far as like good matches from best to worst. This was number 2. There were times like with Charlotte and Alexa. I thought they had a couple good moments together, teaming up and trying to give their team a little bit of a breather, a 1-up. They looked out for each other. I think as far as the cages go, I think there could be a little room for dialogue and storytelling had they had the cages. You have Becky, who claimed to have put together the team that she was on herself. And, that got a couple awkward looks, so I could imagine her trying to call shots in the cage, and, it's probably not going to go the way she thinks. Maybe the same thing with Rhea and Charlotte in their cage if they're in there for a longer period of time, but the unnecessary storytelling that we went through the week and a half prior to War Games was, did a good job of kind of squashing that, so that probably wouldn't have been anything to worry about. But a lot of good spots. I think there were a lot more exciting moments in this match than the male counterpart match. And I think overall for the night, I'd give it a number 2. It'd be number 2 on the list.
Cool beans.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah. Probably I'd probably call it the second best match of the night, probably. I think I'm in agreement with you on that.
I'm interested to know what your guys' number 1 match is, though. Let's hear it. Let's get to it. Because I think it's going to be different.
Any other final thoughts on this Women's War Games match?
No,
I think the team that everybody wanted to win won, and I think it was just fitting that it was AJ Lee and Becky Lynch with the Black Widow. I felt like a nice way to put a bow on that match. Survivor Series War Games is in the books, but maybe it's going to continue the AJ and Becky storyline.
Oh But yeah, I'm sure that at some point AJ will pop back up. I mean, clearly she's doing the part-time thing. She's not on the roster full-time that we're going to see every Monday on Raw, but I think they've pretty much confirmed that she's a part-timer. So next time she'll pop up, I would speculate she'll be right back into the mix with Becky Lynch. And hopefully it will lead to a one-on-one match just between them two, so that way we can put that to rest, and then AJ Lee can move on to something else with someone else.
That is a good point. I didn't think about that till you said it. That both of their interactions have been, you had the mixed tag match and then the War Games match. So yeah, that'd be very cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, all of AJ's interactions have been, it revolved around Becky Lynch since she's come back. So you can only squeeze so much milk out of that cow.
Very true.
Yeah.
All right, so next match was for the WWE Intercontinental Championship, featuring the challenger, San Diego's own Dirty Dominic Mysterio, with Raquel Rodriguez and Roxanne Perez by his side, facing the defending champion, the one-time Intercontinental Champion, John Cena. This was probably the best match of the night, even though I think the finish was an overbooked mess. I do think they did a little too much with the finish, but I do think it was still the best match of the night. I would have preferred for Dominic to win clean, which, by the way, Dominic did win and get his Intercontinental title back, as he properly should have. The return of Dirty Dom Dos Belts. But I would have preferred that. Oh, excuse me. My preference would have been for Dirty Dom to win clean. Just him, John, one-on-one, and Dominic come out on top using whatever creative tactics he needed to. That being said, I'm not mad at the fact that, I'm also not disappointed in the fact that it was the women who helped out Dirty Dom the most. That I wasn't mad about either. Like Raquel and Roxanne being by his side, wasn't opposed to that. I could have done without JD and Finn. I feel like they were unnecessary. And they only showed up just so that John Cena could put them both on his shoulder and hit an AA. So we get that two-man attitude adjustment one last time.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, they weren't necessary. I would have been perfect. I think it would have been much better if it would have just been Dom and his ladies. And props to John Cena for taking the finishers from the girls. Like, he took a Tejana bomb from Raquel and a Pop Rocks from Roxanne. Like, props to him for that. Those I thought were pretty dope spots. And fuck the referee for refusing to count the pin for Dom after Dom, tried to pull a penta and, fake a shoulder injury while John Cena was eating that Tejana bomb and Pop Rocks. And then Dom runs right back in there, and now all of a sudden the referee refuses to do his job. Now all of a sudden the referee wants to have a moral compass. Like, no, I'm not going to count the pin. I'm sorry. Shoulders to the mat. Man covered. Do your motherfucking job, ref. Count the damn 3. You ain't in there to be some moral police. You ain't in there for that. Do your goddamn job. But now you just want to refuse. Oh, no, I'm not going to do it because you faked the injury. And fuck you and my fake injury. Do your job. Do your motherfucking job. That part I hated. Ain't like referees be sitting there, unless this about to be some new trend where we about to have, referees with moral compasses being moral polices out there about deciding when they want to count and when they don't want to count. But other than that, nah. Do your goddamn job. count the pin, let John kick out, and let's move on. But excuse me, referee just refusing.
It's a Jessica Carr conspiracy.
So what, Jessica Carr? What?
I said it's a Jessica Carr conspiracy.
Right. Let's find out Jessica Carr's been rallying all the referees in the back to start standing up for themselves. Like, we don't have to do this. We control those matches and all this stuff. She becomes a little faction leader. And somehow that leads to her in-ring debut.
You know what? That actually sounds like it might have some interesting potential to it.
Yeah, it wouldn't be too bad. Until Charles Robinson has to go one-on-one with somebody. He gets fucking ragdolled all over the place.
Find out one of the old head referees is like their manager or something like that. Hefner or something like that. Find out he's their manager and just like strings in the background.
I mean, Triple H probably wouldn't do it, but if it was Vince, we'd be getting a Charles Robinson versus fucking Bronson Reed match.
Oh my God.
And Charles Robinson would be eating about 8 tsunamis in the ring.
God, it's funny.
Pancake.
Right.
It's good shit.
So, after all them shenanigans and that happens, then we get the moment that nobody expected. The return of one Liv Morgan. Welcome back, babe.
Ooh.
Now, this is where, to me, the stadium, I don't know if it was just audio issues with WWE or, I don't know, maybe I wasn't paying full attention at the moment. It felt like when her music hit, I could barely hear her music when I was watching it live. Right. And I also couldn't hear the pop from the crowd. It seemed not as loud as you would have thought. But according to our friend in Discord who was there live, he said the pop was absolutely massive in the arena when she showed up. And I've seen subsequent replays of the moment, and yeah, you can hear a sizable pop when she came back. So maybe that was just on me not fully paying attention or what have you.
Could have also been a streaming issue.
What's that?
It could have also been a streaming issue, like a lag or something like that.
Potentially. Definitely could possibly blame it on the VPN. But nevertheless, she came back. She came into the ring. Dom was all like, "Hey, babe, welcome back. Happy to see you." To which she responded with a prompt slap to the face, laying out Dom, shocking John Cena, to whom she turned around, jumped into his arms, and then flexed every ounce of her little acting chops that she's built up over these last year and some change doing these movies and stuff. Because she gave a look in them eyes, and that's when you knew. Shit. She about to turn. And showed up. She jumped down and booyah! Right to the balls. Laid out John Cena with a swift one. And then, disappointingly, she threw him into the ropes to take a 619. And then a frog splash so that Dom could get the pin and regain the Intercontinental Championship. Only reason why I say disappointing that she threw him into the ropes is I wanted her to deliver an Oblivion. We already saw Dom hit a 619 on Cena earlier in the match. We didn't need a second one. And he already took the Tejana Bomb, and he took Pop Rocks. Go for the hat trick, John Cena. Take Oblivion from Liv. And then use that for the frog splash. That's the only slight tweak I would have made. But other than that, I thought that part of the finish with Liv returning and pulling the fake, which, if you were really watching and paying attention, realistically, it was obvious, kind of obvious that she was going to turn on John Cena, because when she slapped Dom, she completely missed him. Now, I don't know if she missed him because she's clearly swung over his head. and then he fell out. I don't know if it was supposed to be like that to fake out John Cena, to, kayfabe fool John Cena into thinking she really slapped him, or if they just miscommunicated and just botched the spot. I don't know which one it was, but either way, when I was watching it and I saw that slap, I was like, nope, she missed. She's faking him out. But like I said, that's neither here nor there. Either way, overall, I thought this was a great match. Best one of the match. Well, I thought it was a really good match. I won't go so far as to say great, but it was really good. And of the 4 matches we had tonight, it was the best one. Well, yeah, Wayne.
Man, you know what? This was, to me, the most entertaining of the night. Like you said, it wasn't like, definitely not match of the year candidate or anything, but out of these 4 matches, it was entertaining. It was something I was looking forward to. I mean, I kind of knew what I was going to be getting. This is John Cena's last official PLE, right? This is Dirty Dom, a guy who got to kind of skip to the head of the line. Everybody's doing this tournament to wrestle John, and this, I know it's not like his last match, but like this close to the end of his career, and Dirty Dom just like, I want a rematch, like, I want another match. Like, sure, we'll have Cena wrestle you twice. The amount of shenanigans that was used in this fucking match, 3 guys and 3 women to gain that Intercontinental title. So I thought it was hilarious. Dude, Dom selling that shoulder like Penta, Penta has a legit injury, but that's such a dick move to go and use that same move and then to hurt your shoulder after Penta just got injured. Oh man. I don't know if that was like a jab to Penta or what, because I know I've seen some podcasts where, like, in character, Dom like jabs at Penta. He doesn't like Penta. I think it's funny. So I don't know if that was like a nod to that, but yeah, and John letting the women, Raquel, to get a power bomb on him and the pop rocks, like, and a pretty good one too. Like, John Cena's always been pretty well at taking that kind of move, that pop rocks type of move, where it turns into a pin almost. And Dirty Dom kicked out of an AA. Oh my! I was a little surprised. I didn't expect the Liv Morgan return until, like, I think Tyler, I think I told you maybe like an hour before the show started. I was like, I think Liv Morgan's going to return. And I was like, I have like 2 ideas for her. And I was like, I think one of them is she's going to help Dirty Dom. So.
Yep. Yeah, you definitely made mention of it, that it was like a rumor you had heard like that. Like, okay, maybe. I honestly, in all honesty, didn't believe that it would happen.
Yeah.
But I'll elaborate later.
Yeah, I was expecting like Rumble, and like, damn, like, I don't know. Now should I have, like, I feel like maybe we should have just waited until Rumble. Rumble's not that far away. I mean, right? It's like January, end of January, I think.
It's the end of January, so I mean that's
damn. Like, do we really need Liv
still
Morgan?
Like maybe another 9 weeks away,
right? But
still got all of this month and then all of January to get through.
Right, but did we really need, Liv to come back this early? I felt like the Rumble would have been a way bigger pop. Way bigger, but y'all have big plans for her, because it looks like they're throwing her, Raquel, and Roxanne all into gaining all the gold back for the women. And that's okay. I mean, we were mostly expecting Roxanne and Liv to have a feud, but I don't think now, at this point in time, I even want to see it. I don't think Roxanne's even on the level of Liv Morgan to even care for a feud right now. Ooh. So I'd rather see them work together.
Now.
Yeah, I'd rather.
When you say you don't think Roxanne is on the level of Liv, what are you talking about? Are you talking about like ring ability or star power?
Ring ability. Like,
no.
And star power. I think it's both, man. Like, I don't think, definitely not star power. Definitely not. Like, if you're trying to build a story, like, I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think I'm gonna be clamoring to see fucking Roxanne versus Liv Morgan.
Now, I'll agree with you as far as star power. Yeah, Roxanne's not on Liv's level. Liv has established herself as one of the top women on the roster, without a shadow of doubt. And Roxanne is still fairly new. There ain't no question about that.
Right.
But in ring ability, don't sleep on Roxy. Roxanne can cook.
She was pretty good in
I know
NXT.
you haven't watched as much NXT as some of the rest of us, but nah. Roxanne can get busy in the ring. They call her the prodigy for a reason. It ain't just because she's booked that way. Nah, she got real talent in the ring.
I think that's probably when she'd have a better chance as far as star power or NXT Prime. Because after she came in as a main roster person, it seems like since she showed up, she kind of fell off a little bit. You know, just kind of like fell into the storyline like a tertiary character, but as opposed to somebody who's really out there and constantly in storylines and like their name is always being brought up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sure, that's valid, but I think that's part of that is because she came in and joined into a faction, and so she's not the leader of that faction. She's not at the forefront of that faction. She more or less is being paired up with Roxanne, and they've been doing things as a team and as a tag team. So, I mean, as opposed to her, being a singles competitor and just being, I'm Roxanne Perez by myself. But I think this has worked out better for her because if she had been just a singles competitor by herself, I think there's a good chance she could have gotten lost in the shuffle with everyone else, especially with all the star power that they have, on Raw at times, between the Kabuki Warriors, between people like Asuka, Becky Lynch, and Stephanie Vaquer, who's clearly the one that they've pushed to the moon right now and built up. And then obviously you had, Naomi was there at the time when Roxanne first showed up as women's champion. You got Rhea Ripley, you got Io Sky. I mean, Roxanne just as an individual by herself very much could have been lost in the sauce. So I think her being paired up with a prominent faction like the Judgment Day is working to her benefit because it's keeping her on people's radars, keeping her in front of the camera. People are seeing her. She's working matches, and it's keeping her relevant until such point where a Judgment Day storyline can move to the forefront involving her and Liv or her and Raquel or whatever storyline they come up with. That seems to be the thing, I guess, now with WWE. They may, where different storylines kind of shuffle in and out of being at the forefront.
Right.
And sometimes we tend to think that, okay, this isn't happening at the forefront, that somebody's falling off or they're falling into the background. It's just like, no, it's just kind of the shuffling of the deck as they do it. Like, these are the storylines we're going to feature prominently right now. Some of these other ones are going to still be there but take a bit of a backseat. Then those wrap up. Other storylines will move to the forefront. Other storylines will fall to the back. So I'm okay with where Roxanne's at right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, dude. Still, this match was very entertaining. The fact that it took how many fucking people to take the gold off of Cena. Like, I guess I didn't want to see the gold go, any further than this. I didn't want to see the IC title go to his last match. But, we were going to have to get here some way at some point, and what better person than Dirty Dom? I guess you don't want somebody to win clean to beat him for his title, right? Like, especially 2 weeks out of his retirement match. So, why not have the dirtiest player, Dirty Dom, take it in the dirtiest way possible?
Dirty Dom, the GOAT, the future GOAT.
He's definitely working on it.
Hey, what are your thoughts on this, Tyler?
I agree with you. Number one match of the night. As far as entertainment and ring execution, definitely number one. to the Liv showing up and jumping on John. I think the only reason she couldn't have done an Oblivion was because she had her legs around him, as opposed to like jumping in his arms and both of her legs are off one side. Otherwise, it would have been awesome to see a hat trick. And when you talk about,
I just meant like after she kicked him in the balls. That's what I wanted her to hit the Oblivion.
Okay, all right. That would have been cool to see. Just to try and because then you probably wouldn't have needed her upside the head with the title. Dom could have just picked him up, threw him into the ropes, and done his whole thing.
That's right. She did clock him with the belt. I forgot about that.
Yep. But when you talk about a WWE legend and somebody who goes and pushes talent, you know what I mean? He did a great job with Dom. I think we got to see some really cool moments with Dom and promos, some confidence. But then just to go outside of your own gender and to help the women and him selling their finishers the way he did was awesome to see. So just to go beyond, instead of just being an inspiration, going above and beyond to sell finishers or take a punch or a kick here or there, that was really cool to see. And Dirty Dom wouldn't be Dirty Dom if he didn't have the help of his people and some of his dad's supposedly, quote unquote, his supposed dad's Latino heat, lie, cheat, steal playbook to maybe grab from here and there, which was really cool to see. Zipping the boot down and he's going to put him in the STFU or whatever you want to call it. I don't know if we're still PG-13 or not. But to go and do that and then the boot slips off, was really cool to see. Selling the shoulder, all the things were very reminiscent of Eddie Guerrero. Really cool touch on that. I do agree that, the digs that he takes at Penta and then going and selling a shoulder injury like that was, added a little bit of comedy to the situation. And then you have the ref, getting in his feels about, well, I just called these guys out here to check on you because you were supposedly injured. I'm not going to count this. It was a little much, as was and JD coming out and trying to stick their nose in the business. I think that was the touch that really made it a little much as far as everything going on in that moment. But to see the Super Cena 2-man AA was pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
in his
yeah.
PLE. But then you have Liv coming out and looking at her face. I wish they would have shown John's face because the picture that I found afterwards was hilarious. But looking in Liv's face and seeing that smile, all the way up into her eye, and then just the split-second change was priceless. And that's when I knew that shit was about to hit the fan. I'm like, okay, new champion. From that moment, it was very clear what was about to happen. All of it still culminated for me in a really great match. Like you guys alluded to, not match of the year, but a really well done match for John Cena's final PLE. And I was thoroughly pleased with it. Dom gets the 2 belt back. John, unfortunately has to walk away with an L, but in doing so, he's pushed, the next generation or two of superstars, which was just really cool to see.
Nice. Yeah, I do gotta say, damn, lost my train of thought that fast.
That's a regular thing for me, brother. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, it was a response to something that you had mentioned earlier about.
It was nice seeing John Cena's last feat of super strength. I was looking at older videos of him lifting 2 guys up before doing the A, and he's done it plenty. Big Show and Edge at the same time. This time it's a lot later guys. He is a bit older, But it's still just
Yeah,
to
I've
see
heard
it.
that.
Just to see it though, it's still amazing. So I did enjoy
Yeah,
that.
I mean, I'll give him that. You know, picking freaking JD McDonough's head off the ground. But I still personally would have preferred, you know, if they had not been involved. But it is what it is. But you are right about the how priceless it was seeing that look from Liv.
Right.
Like that moment right there. You know, that's something that's going to get replayed over and over again. And one little unexpected nugget that of legacy that John Cena has apparently left us is it seems that from now on, anytime somebody does something like that, it's going to be called the Cena turn.
Oh,
Because
wonderful.
I'm sure y'all have seen videos online where they've shown Liv what Liv did to John and right overlapped with what Cena did to Cody. It's pretty much a mirror, the exact same thing. The embrace, the close up on the face, the change, step back, kick to the balls. And it's like, and it's like a one. It's like a 1-for-1 recreation. So, you know, karma caught up to John, I guess you could say. And yeah, people have kind of coined that the Cena turn. So, one last unexpected piece of legacy that John Cena has left us. Like the Dusty Rhodes finish. Now we have the Cena turn. And I will bet at some point, maybe not in the near future, but at some point in the wrestling future, somebody else will do that again. And when it happens, exactly as soon as people see it, he did the thing. He did the Cena turn. Any other thoughts on this match?
No, dude. It was super entertaining. It was great.
Oh, agreed.
Go ahead.
No, I just agreed.
Well, all right. Well, the next match after this was a one-on-one match for the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer, the champion, defending against Nikki Bella. Steph won. She pretty much dog-walked Nikki Bella, as she should have. She seemed a little bit more, I don't know, the look on her face in this match seemed angrier than we typically see out of Stephanie. I don't know if that was just character play on her part, or some have speculated that maybe she was a bit upset with Nikki Bella in the match because Nikki's work was a little bit lacking in some spots, specifically the Devil's Kiss, and Nikki probably has done the worst sell job of that maneuver that I've seen, with her basically dead weighting her arms and not, you know, if you see everybody else who takes the Devil's Kiss, their arms kind of, you know, almost windmill with it, and they push up to help execute the move.
Right.
Whereas Nikki's arms were just flopping there on the side.
Well, she also didn't. She was on her stomach. She wasn't on her knees, which kind of also helps.
Right. So it definitely made the move not look as polished as it should. It seemed because she took it twice. She took it one on the announce table and then took it the second time in the ring. On the announce table, she, you know, kind of botched it, and then it seemed at some point she kind of realized, oh shit, I'm supposed to be pushing, and then kind of started to, but it still didn't really save it. Excuse me. And then in the ring, she just completely pancaked it, and Stephanie Vaquer didn't look too happy about it, but it's probably about the only real noteworthy thing out of this match, because outside of that, Stephanie Vaquer kind of whooped her ass. Nikki had a little bit of offense, but she was pretty much dominated by Stephanie Vaquer.
Mm-hmm.
And Stephanie retained in a match that went for 12 minutes and 20 seconds. This is about what I expected of this match. Obviously, if we're ranking them, this one ranked at the bottom. What are your thoughts on this one, Tyler?
for a little bit there, I was placing his match at number 3. It wasn't until, you had mentioned some things that I'd completely either forgotten or overlooked or didn't notice in the moment. And going back and thinking about it, and I'm like, damn, that it kind of felt like the female version of Brock Lesnar versus John Cena. But the roles are switched a little bit, where, Kara, who is the champion, is the Brock Lesnar equivalent, and then Nikki, who's coming back from retirement, is John Cena, who's on his way out, and just dominates the whole match. Nikki had a few good moments where she tried putting on some offense and tried showing this whole heel turn, which feels like a wasted effort in some regards. I get it that it's.
Uh-oh. Did we lose Tyler? Hello? I think we lost Tyler.
Oh. Well, I guess we'll give him a moment to see if he can get back in here. In the meantime, you want to go ahead with your thoughts, Wayne?
Well, that match happened.
Right.
Yeah, dude, I feel like it's not the match that didn't have time to cook, it's the feud that didn't have time to cook. The feud seemed like it had none. The promos were done for them, between venues. I recall last week, was it I was watching Raw or something, that they had a promo during the entrance of one of the wrestlers. There's an entrance going on, and they're literally jamming your promo in, your video package, in between the entrances. How the hell am I supposed to take this at all serious? As a feud, as a match at all for anybody. And that's why, this whole fucking thing was a letdown. And obviously these two weren't even on the same fucking page, it looked like. And, you were right, though. Stephanie was upset with the way the match was going. I think it's because these two just did not, weren't on the same page. And I'm not saying neither of them are bad wrestlers. They're both great wrestlers. It's just you just need to have the two people work well together. I'm being honest, not wrestling ability, but looks wise, Nikki looked fucking fantastic. Best she's looked in a long time. I mean, especially for a woman her age, looks fucking great. Not a lot of people who leave the ring and come back still look in great condition. Yeah, you're right though. We discussed it to end here at the Devil's Kiss. He did wrong, and I thought that the Devil's Kiss on the table, I was like, maybe she'll put it through the table, or I don't know, something. But no, it was very boring, man. I'm just gonna be honest. It was a very boring match. It was not exciting, and I think I think Nikki was born there. I know she's from Arizona, but I think she was born there. So even being a hometown girl, she still got booed, and not booed, but there's no reaction. It's very dead. Yeah, but I guess we always have a bathroom break match, right? And unfortunately, Stephanie Velcro's match had to be the bathroom break match of the evening.
Yeah, you're right. She is another hometowner. This was her hometown. She was born in San Diego.
Yeah, and it's just weird. We gave Dirty Dominus a win in San Diego, but even if you would have given Nikki a win, given it a very, very heelish type win, she could have cheated to win or something. But what was the whole point of this?
Let's be real though. Anybody try to see Nikki Bella as the women's world champion?
No, I don't think so. Not one last run. I think if she's gonna have honestly, if there's gonna be any gold around her waist, it's gonna be a tag title, and it's gonna be her and Brie. That's the only thing I see. I don't see an IC title. I don't see United States even. I see she was originally brought back for the tag titles, and Liv got hurt, and I feel like that's where it kind of swayed. But now she's gonna kind of disappear into the, I don't know, with all the other heels. She's just gonna be buried because we have too many females, and too many big female heels. So I don't know.
Well, I don't think she'll be buried. I think she'll still be in a fairly prominent role.
Right.
But given that she has clearly shown that she can still perform in the ring, but she definitely still has some rust to shake off.
Right.
As far as, I guess, their timing and communication, that stuff still needs some work. So maybe she takes a bit of a backseat for a moment. There's been speculation that she's gonna, I guess she's still working to bring Bree, her twin sister Bree, in. I don't know if this is something that Bree's apprehensive about, or if she's already gonna do it and they're just waiting for the right timing or what. But we'll see. But that's probably the best thing that could probably go for Nikki right now, is just bring in Bree, Bella Twins, and let them get in the mix in the women's tag team division at some point.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, hers single wrestling, it's been very up and down, and I damn sure ain't gonna put none of the blame on that match on Stephanie Vaquera, because Stephanie Vaquera can fucking go in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Again, another one that I've seen. She's already had a number of good matches on the main roster, and she's also another one I've been following from NXT. She had great matches in NXT as well. So she can wrestle circles around Nikki Bella in her sleep. So
right. But yeah,
Tyler has joined back in the recording, but
Tyler, you there?
There he is. I hear him now.
Thought I was going off on like a whole tangent. I'm glad now, thinking back, that I got disconnected or whatever, because I kind of like meandered a path for a second, and then I come back and I'm like, I don't hear anybody. What is going on? And realize I wasn't even in there anymore.
Well, have you had a moment to, I guess, consolidate those thoughts? You got a more refined approach that you want to share with us?
Yeah. Okay. Tab number 2. Here we go. Overall, I agree with you. I agree with you, Dre, that it was number 4 a match at the end of the night. Different ways they could have utilized the heel turn in Nikki. I also think there's a number of things they could have done aside from a heel turn to try and sell the storyline. Technicality and prowess missing from Nikki, and you could sense that in the match. There was like a lack of pop, a lot in the crowd, and it makes sense that Vacker would be disgruntled, unhappy with how things were going in the moment. Thinking back, it showed a couple times, the frustration. I think the time away, when people think about getting back in the ring and like, I'm going to be able to do this and this again, and they forget that there's a whole new generation of superstars in there that have completely different movesets than what you were used to before. And then I also wonder how much of it was previous injuries that played into how Nikki moves and operates now. I'm not sure. Something is off. It's not all the way there for her like it used to be. But as a result, definitely bottom of the card match for me. Overall.
I mean, you're right though, Tyler. Like, there's she had neck injuries. Even I think it was from her original finisher. The rack attack was causing her neck injuries to be even worse, and that's why she now has the rack attack 2.0. It's modified a little, but yeah, you're right, dude. When any kind of wrestler leaves the ring for a long period of time coming back, like, they're not going to be exactly how we envision them when they were, in their prime or in their height of their career. I mean, guys, we're going to have, it's inevitable, but we're probably going to have Chris Jericho come back, and he ain't going to be wrestling like he used to, since the last time you saw him in WWE, if that's the only time you've seen him. A lot of people, well, we'll get to that with the last match, but yeah, you're right, dude. Like, injuries that stacked up over the years you had would probably change the way you wrestle.
It's unfortunate too, because you have, today's newer talent that are like, shit, so and so is back, and maybe I can work with them and get a big push of my own in my career.
Mm-hmm.
And if that was a hope for Stephanie, I think it probably hurt more than it helped. Which, I mean, with the trajectory that she's on and how big she's gotten and how fast they're pushing her, if there was any hurt, probably not going to see it.
Yeah. I don't think this match hurts Stephanie Vaquer in any way whatsoever. I think most people, again, if they're gonna put any kind of blame on the quality of this match, they're gonna blame Nikki for it. But it's a good point that you did bring up as far as, older wrestlers, especially in the women's division, coming in and mixing it up with the current crop. And yeah, these women wrestling now are on a completely different level from the Divas era and before. So if you're going to come in now and try to mix it up with them, you got to bring it. You can't wrestle the same way you wrestled in the Divas era and think that's going to cut it with this crop of women's wrestlers. Because they gets busy now.
Yup. Whole new breed.
Exactly. They can come with it. You ain't about to sit here and just do, arm drags and hair tosses and all that stuff and, an occasional little move here and there and think that's going to get you by. So to the ones who can come back and mix it up with them, like Trish Stratus has shown, that she can come in with today's crop and go toe to toe with them. It just, enhances their legacy, in my opinion. It just further establishes, somebody like Trish as, one of the GOATs.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that she could mix it up in the Attitude Era with people like Lita and Jazz and Victoria and them. And then she could mix it up in the Divas era with the women of that time. And she can come in now, and mix it up with these women of today. Have matches with the Tiffany Strattons and the Becky Lynches and them. And have not just passable matches, but great matches like the steel cage match she had with Becky Lynch last year.
Right.
So if Nikki wants to have any type of, if she wants people to look back on this return run of hers with any kind of positive feelings, she gonna have to step it up.
Mm-hmm.
Can't just be a case of, all right, I'm in shape and I feel good. All right, let's come back and just go. Nah, maybe take a trip down to Florida, shake some rust off if you need to. Put a day or two in at the PC. Nobody's gonna judge you for it, but we will judge the matches when you are on TV.
That all shows in the final product.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Any other thoughts on this?
Nope. You can look, but you can't touch.
Still the worst theme of any woman on the roster.
Stop. That is not true. We could sit here and have a debate and talk about the worst theme music, because I will dig deep, my friend. The ruthless or aggression era of women's entrance theme is disgusting. It is
I didn't
awful.
say all time. I'm just talking now.
Modern. Wait, so you're saying...
I'm talking just right now, her music has no pop to it.
So you're saying that you think that Becky Lynch's new theme music is better than Nikki Bella's?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
That's mighty fine of you.
I will say yes, it is.
That's mighty
I'm
fine
not
of
a
you.
fan of Nikki. I'm not the biggest fan of Becky Lynch's new theme.
Yeah.
But given that she's a heel, she kind of has to have that type of theme as a heel. Because she can't have the old chanting type theme because, you know, fans fuck around and get into it and start chanting and shit. But for what it is, it's still better than freaking Nikki Bella's.
Next podcast, I'm going to bring on 3 theme songs from women who are on the roster right now, and you're going to have to tell me who they are and if they're worse than Nikki Bella. Oh, this is going to be fun.
I might not be able to identify them because, you know, Def Rebel.
Yeah, Def Rebel.
Themes.
Yeah, they... I wish Doyle was here because I know he hates Becky Lynch's theme. I know he hates that song. It's great.
But even Doyle has acknowledged though that the lyrics to it make sense with her character as it is now.
Yeah.
So it's a theme that makes sense even if it doesn't hit like it should.
It hits for me.
Nikki's theme is relying on pure nostalgia. But
they could have at least done a remix with it.
Something to it. Because right now it is just weak.
The same, yeah. Yep.
It is so weak. Like, what was it a few weeks ago when before she turned on Stephanie McCare, when Stephanie McCare was getting beat down by somebody, and then all of a sudden, you get that, but you can't touch it. And she comes running down like, no pop. Like, if I was a woman, I'm in the ring and I'm getting my ass whooped, and that's the music that hits, I don't feel like I'm saved.
Like if we're gonna like do a quick rank of women's entrance music, I think the one that I hear and I'm absolutely hyped for every time, and it makes sense, is Stephanie Vacker. Every time her music hits, I'm like, I get chills. I'm into it. I'm headbanging along. I'm like, yeah. All it's missing is lyrics.
Her shit go hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if all it needs is lyrics, I feel like that's something I could actually bang in my car when I'm on the way to work or something.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna do like a quick dirty ranking of women's themes, I would say maybe not all of them, but if I'm going top 5, I would say probably number 1 is Rhea Ripley, without question.
Oh yes,
hers as soon as it hits, immediate. Hers is probably number 1. Number 2, I would give to. I'm going to give number 2 to Io Sky. I think she's got the second most immediately recognizable theme. As soon as when that bass drops, everybody knows, you hear that doom doom doom. Everybody immediately knows it's hers. Hers is really picked up.
Oh, this one?
I think she probably has the second best one. I would give the third best one to Stephanie Vaquer. Fourth best, I would say, right now is probably Jade Cargill.
Mm-hmm.
I would give her probably the fourth best theme. And 5, I'm going to give 5 probably to Liv Morgan. I think hers is another one that's immediately recognizable. And as soon as it hits, people immediately know who it is. Honorable mention to Bianca Belair, but I've been saying for years Bianca needs a new theme. But it is recognizable. When you hear that hair whip and then the music hits, everybody knows it's hers.
I'm on my own.
But I still think she needs a better theme.
I keep forgetting she's still with WWE because she's been gone for so long. Which is unfortunate because if I'm starting to feel that way, it makes me wonder what everybody else is starting to think.
No offense, but I think you're probably on an island as far as forgetting that she's in the WWE. I don't think anybody's has forgotten of her. I think people are now at the point of went from wondering what's taking so long, but now that Liv Morgan has come back, I think some people are probably going to now start thinking about Bianca.
Mm-hmm.
Because if Liv Morgan's back now, then that opens up for a big return at the Rumble.
Right.
So that's something that that's a space that Bianca can fill if she's ready to come back. And I obviously we don't know because she hasn't really given us much of an update as far as her hand, other than some time ago when she said that normally it would have been recovered by now. She could have been came back, but the problem that she has is that she can't flex that finger. And it's because she can't flex that finger. She has no grip strength in that, and that's been the hold up. Which I know, obviously, if you're a wrestler, you kind of need your hands for grip strength,
right?
But that was probably months ago when she said that. She's been doing media appearances, and I don't know if that's to kind of get her name back in the consciousness because she was on I think BET's 106 in Sports, some new show they had recently.
Well, she just did that Slim Jim commercial too.
Yeah, she was doing the Slim Jim commercials with LA Knight for a while there. So she could be ready to come back, and they're just waiting for the right time. They were like, okay, we got Liv coming back in Survivor Series. Mm-hmm. We'll bring you back. She could come back at the beginning of the year, that January 5th Raw, which looks like WWE may be setting that up to be a major Raw, because it would mark the 1 year anniversary since Raw debuted on Netflix. Maybe she returns then. Maybe they save her for the Rumble and she returns at the Rumble. We'll see. But my guess is, my speculation is that Bianca will be back somewhere at the beginning of 2026. I think either that Raw or the Rumble. I think one of those two she returns. Or maybe even SmackDown. Or if they decide to bring her back on SmackDown, we'll see. But I think the month of January, I think we'll see Bianca come back.
I feel like SmackDown, there's a lot of unfinished business on SmackDown for her. That would probably be a more likely home for her, because I think Monday Night Raw is kind of loaded right now as far as storyline, like female storyline talent.
I agree. I agree with you. I'm between the two. The only reason why I even mentioned Raw is because, again, it seems like they're building up that January 5th show to be something big. So there's a possibility of that. But I would probably still lean more towards her coming back on SmackDown, definitely. SmackDown needs it. That women's roster over there is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
And
agreed.
Yeah, and probably my guess is she's probably going to come back and they're going to build up towards her versus Jade Cargill at WrestleMania for the WWE Women's title. That's my early speculation.
We shall see.
That we shall. So let's move on from the talk of the women to the final match of the night. The men's War Game match featuring The Vision, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul, Drew McIntyre, and Brock Lesnar facing the team of CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Jimmy and Jey Uso, and our tribal chief, Roman Reigns. This match was a letdown, in my opinion. Just because that much star power, and we got about as basic of a War Games as we could get. I mean, there were some things that were noteworthy, like, Punk, got some color. He was bleeding a little bit, but that was all dried up by the end of the match. But for the early part, middle match, yeah, him bleeding was noteworthy. Him taking a pretty sizable beat down as well. Really, this whole match seemed to be pretty well dominated by the Vision for most of it. And a lot of that had to do with them having the numbers advantage, given that, they had won the match going into it to determine who would have the advantage, which definitely they made the most of, because they was beating the tar out the baby faces for a good chunk of the match. But other than that, it just seemed rather basic. Like somebody would come in, hit some spots, a little bit of beat down. All right, bring in the next person. All right, they get their spots in. Things are evened up. Now the faces are evening. All right, bring the next heel. All right, now they're getting their spots. They get the beat down. Like, I can't think of any real memorable moment from this match other than one that irked the living shit out of me. And that was Jay running it back in the middle of the fucking War Games match.
Bro, don't even get me fucking started. Running it back.
We're going in on this because I get it. I get it that, yes, it's popular. I get that everybody likes it. I like it. I'm a Jay guy. Obviously, as y'all heard from the beginning of the show, it's the music I come out to. I call myself main event Dre Uso. He's my guy. But god damn it, this is motherfucking War Games. This is supposed to be a fight. Y'all are supposed to be settling beef. It's you and them dudes going the fuck at it. Ain't nobody got time for you to be running back your fucking theme in the middle of a goddamn match. And you climbing up the stage, up on the cage and headbanging at the top. What the absolute fuck? I get it that everybody I get it, it's popular with the people in the arena. But there's a time and a place for that, and fucking War Games ain't it. I'm sure the people in the arena loved it, though. Like, yeah, run it back. Yeah, we gonna eat it. Ugh. I think if he would have done this in the middle of, if this would have been like a regular Survivor Series classic Survivor Series elimination match, and he did this, I probably wouldn't be bothered by it. But they did it in fucking games. Fucking War Games. Like, it irked me to the point that I almost feel like they should, if this is the type of shenanigans we're going to get, just do away with the War Games match. Because it clearly ain't what it used to be. Not that it really, at least in the past couple of years, you still felt some semblance of real beef and tension between the two sides. Even if the action didn't always quite measure up. But, I mean, we've gotten some great men's War Games in the matches in the past. Like the Bloodline versus, what was it? It was Kevin Owens in them. The one where Sami Zayn fully turned on Kevin and solidified himself as a member of the Bloodline. In retrospect, what's that?
That was like the first one, wasn't it?
I think that might have been the first main roster men's War Games, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, like in retrospect, like I won't say it's a classic War Games, but it's damn near one. Probably the best one that they've had on the main roster so far. And we've gone from that to this.
Mm-hmm.
That to, hey, run back my theme in the middle of a match. I was so happy when Brock's music hit in the middle of that shit. Like, yes, Brock, please come put it into this bullshit I'm looking at right now. Yeah, it irritated the shit out of me. It really irritated me. Like, again, especially Jay, if you're supposed to be taken seriously, like, I'm not just my theme. I'm more than my theme. This didn't fucking help it. Right. This did not help it. The fact that you, even in the middle of a War Games match, you can't help but run back your theme. Not doing yourself any favors here.
Mm-hmm.
At all. And I could go on about it. Like I said, the match itself was nothing noteworthy. The Vision won. I forgot who got the fucking pin. Braun speared the fuck out of Punk. And I'd be remiss. Man in Black, who came in out of nowhere, scaled the cage, looked at CM Punk, kicked him in the face, stomped him, which then led to Braun Breaker's spear in the pin. We could spend time and try to speculate on who was the Man in Black, who's the best person, who could it possibly be? It's Austin Theory, goddammit. We all know it's Austin Theory. Like, ain't no point in dragging it. Ain't no point in thinking like, oh, it could be Seth. No, it's not Seth. He's still injured. It ain't him. It could be Montez Ford. I hope it's not Montez Ford.
I heard that one too.
Montez.
I was like, where would that even come from? Like, that'd be so left field. You know, and if Montez Ford turned heel, that's not how I'd want it done. So, to me, I was like, where the fuck did that rumor come from?
Exactly. And to me, Montez Ford can stand on his own as an individual.
Exactly.
I don't want him to join the Vision and basically get lost within that faction.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's clear at this point now that the Vision is pivoting towards pushing Braun Breaker to the forefront as the leader of this group and the guy, which means Bronson Reed probably is about to take a bit of a backseat for a while, and anybody else who continues as part of this faction moving forward, presumably Logan Paul, I guess, is in now since he was on Raw with them afterwards. Like, these guys will be shown, sure, they'll be featured, but it's very clear that Braun Breaker is alpha in this group now. And I don't want to see Montez Ford, somebody who I think could equally stand as an alpha or has that potential, being the backseat guy in a faction like this. If he's going to go heel or be solo, then he let him stand on his own.
Yeah,
so,
I mean,
yeah.
I love the arguments.
Versus the Black was Austin Theory.
Yeah, I love the arguments of people who are like, oh, it was Chris Jericho. I was like, are you out of your fucking mind? Are you out of your right? First off, let me just quick.
He ain't climbing the cage that damn fast.
No, dude, there's no way. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris Jericho is 55 years old. Chris Jericho is not scaling that cage that fucking fast. No, even so, like,
or
why?
Jumping down from it.
Yeah. Oh, my knees.
He would have he would have taken the most gingerly climb down that cage.
Exactly. Like, and I here's the thing too, is like, even if it was Jericho, why would it be to what? Take over the Vision? No, like you just said, Braun is definitely being pushed as the new leader, which I'm completely fine with. With after his promo this week on Raw, you know, like, absolutely, man. This match, they pinning the world champion, being the last guy on your team, or to make the last finisher and to end War Games. Like, pinning the world champ's a big deal. Yeah, we got a little bit of blood during this match. You're right. We got Punk. I think that's the only blood we got at all during War Games, right? Just Punk?
Yep.
No, Cody got busted open too.
Did he?
Did Cody get some color?
Yeah, he did. On the side of when he was hanging out of the bus, the bottom steps of the bus, when Drew left him.
Yeah, so that reopened.
His eye right there.
Oh, that was during the build-up, though. That wasn't during the match itself, right?
Yeah. Yeah, before War Games officially started, like, all the members were in the cage, is when it happened. But, I feel like it was, I'm not to start getting into my side of things or anything yet, but, I think his blood was drawn out more, like it went on longer than CM Punk's did. But I'll elaborate on that later.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then we got Cody doing the top rope off the cage with not being let into just the same thing as the women's spot with AJ. Like, oh, you're not allowed in there. We're going to keep the door shut. We're going to hold it shut the entire match. So they had him scale it, jump off the top. Dude, Braun Breaker almost broke his fucking neck. He almost became Braun Broken fucking neck. Holy shit. I can't recall what move it was again. It was a suplex or no. Doomsday Device. That's right, with Punk and Cody Rhodes. Holy shit. I rewound it and had to watch it twice because I was like, oh god, here's another man who's going to be on the injured roster. Like, oh my god, I cringed. You know damn well if Stone Cold was watching it, he's probably like, oh goddamn, like dropped him on that stack of dimes you call a neck. Like, God
You want to talk
damn.
about worst timing ever if he'd had a neck injury.
Dude, it's absolutely being in his 20s, having a neck injury would have put him on the shelf maybe his entire fucking career. You would have had him sitting right next to
not
fucking
just that,
Big
just
E.
where he's being
Pencils.
poised.
Oh yeah, right, exactly, man. Being groomed to be the top dog, no pun intended. Then we got Bronson Reed. I know, funny, right? We got Bronson Reed coming in, doing tsunamis to everybody. Even though that the tsunami originally puts you out for months. It puts you out, but not in the War Games match. Logan Paul asking for the brass knuckles. You understand that this is War Games, right? You don't have to be so secretive about it. You could have brought him in with you. Nobody was stopping you, Logan. I don't know why you had to go to Paul Heyman like we need him now. Get the brass knucks, and you slide them all in there all nonchalant.
You could have put them shits on as you was walking to the ring.
Exactly. You could have double knuckled up. Like Roman Reigns could have had those in the whole time. Yeah, it's just fucking goofy shit like that I thought was funny. Dude, yeah, and then I cringed, man. I fucking cringed when they run it back. And, just imagine if anytime, Tyler, we're in the middle of our show, right? And then we get like a little break in the show, like a little pause in the air, a little 15-second pause or something, and then Dre's just like, run it back! Just all the time. Just all the time. Just Dre just running it back.
Even then, though, we're a podcast.
I know.
It'd be for comedic effect, not for something serious like what War Games is supposed to be.
I get it, and Jay, this new character development, him being upset that he's losing matches and shit. Well, maybe you should stop focusing on fucking eating and save your energy and focus on the fucking match. Like, maybe you won't be so tired and you won't lose to LA Knight. Yeah. But what else did I have written down here? Oh, and then we got Brock Lesnar, right? Of course, he decimated it all. I thought was great. They just basically made him look strong the entire fucking time. I did enjoy when Roman came out, how he basically did the one thing I guess you're not supposed to do is leave the cage. I guess there is no fucking rules in War Games, right? You can just up and leave the cage whenever you want. But these guys met, in the aisle and on the table before the match even started. And then Roman got a hold of the brass knuckles, which I thought was great. Superman punches all around. The Masked Man. It was such a shit ending. Did we really, really need to have a masked character at the end? Who, by the way, no payoff yet. It's now Thursday. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Thursday. The pay-per-view was on Saturday. We had Monday Night Raw. And normally, during the PLE is when we normally would get the reveal. The curb stomp and then the pulling off of the mask. Right? That's how you get the big fucking pop. That's how you send people home excited. Like, now where are we going to go with this person and this group? But no, we're like, okay, so Triple H is like, Monday Night Raw is going to be epic. Tune in. I'm thinking, all right, we're going to finally see who this masked fucker is, right? No.
Exactly. That's another thing that kind of just led to this whole PLE just kind of ending on a wet fart. It's like, okay, stomp out. He's gone.
Yeah. What the fuck, man?
And that's it, huh?
Tyler, come on, man. Chime in. What do you think about this match? What the fuck?
was freaking like buzzing with anticipation at the start, and I think like we alluded to earlier, lack of cages. It seemed pretty evident. Maybe I was the only one that thought so from the beginning. Who the last two competitors were going to be. I think they did a better job of making it more unpredictable with the women's match, but this one kind of felt like as it would go if you were trying to guess in what order they would come in. You know what I mean? As opposed to watching to the two factions in the cage bickering and, the discussion amongst themselves about who's going to go next and all that stuff. Women, more unpredictable as opposed to the men where it was maybe slight variations if you took a poll to who was going to be next in what particular order. And to like you had mentioned earlier, Wayne, about the baby faces being decimated because of the heels having that man advantage.
Mm-hmm.
It was a pretty straightforward dominant match. The spot with Braun Breaker and the Doomsday Device, that kind of struck me, the way he landed, kind of struck me of Big E's injury, and so for a minute after he had landed and he's like finally rolled off to the side, I'm thinking like, shit, he's probably lit up pretty good. Like that's a serious injury, and that was the first person to come to mind was Big E. And to kind of touch on a previous match earlier, when Dominic took that spot on the outside of the ring, that was the only thing I could have thought was wrong with him was the back of his head coming down on that mat. Not so much his shoulder, but he did a good job of saving it and selling it as a story. So back to the war game, the men's war game. CM Punk gets busted open and he leaked for probably all of 30 seconds. I don't think they did a really good job. If that was supposed to be a moment that was like, holy shit, he's busted open, what are we going to do? They didn't really do a good job of focusing on it and making it a point of shock for the fans. Cody's injury getting reopened and him bleeding, that was more prominent, than Punk's. I think in as far as like big pop moments like we've had in the past with like maybe Randy Orton showing up or crazy moves off of the top of the cage or a good sequence of moves and blows and exchanges, you didn't get that with this match. So I almost want to tie it for the number 4 spot and not even leave anything in the number 3 spot, but I'll put it in the number 3 spot overall. As far as theories as to who the Man in Black could be, I think the person in black was far too stocky to be a Montez Ford. I don't know if WWE goes so far as to invest in padding, or anything like that to maybe do a deep fake out. Doubt it. So with that being said, I doubt it's Montez Ford. I kind of doubted Austin Theory for a little bit, and then somebody did a comparison of his back build, and it's almost a match contour for contour as far as his muscular build on his back.
You can say his butt, dude. We don't judge here. People were comparing their butts.
Sure, his butt too. But yeah, and my initial, I'm going to be one of those people. I'm going to admit that I was one of those people at first. It was like, oh my God, it's Seth Rollins because you had me sold on the stomp. You had me sold on the stomp. And then it wasn't until afterwards I did some research and found out that he'd only just had his shoulder surgery. So there was no way in hell it's Rollins.
Exactly.
He's on the table for a little bit. If they do involve him, it'll probably just be promo work, and that's it. They're not going to he's like one of their top guys. They're not going to go and put him in any physical situation where he could either re-aggravate his injury or, incur a new injury along the road. They're not going to do that. And Austin Theory, possibly because him and Seth do have that connection, during the COVID era when, it was Seth and he was the Monday Night Messiah and he had Austin Theory and Buddy Murphy, I want to say his name was then.
Mm-hmm.
He's Buddy Matthews now in AEW, but, and he was doing the Disciples thing and they took Ray out. So there is that connection there. As far as who else it could be, no idea. I couldn't think of any other connection, to anybody that's currently in the Vision or was previously in the Vision to who that person could be. And just the the finisher itself, for CM Punk and the pin and everything like that was very just like it was like they were in a rush, you know what I mean? And it was just like, okay, we got to do this, boom, 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 done. That's it. There was no like build up to it. Everybody gets a chance to do their finisher on the last guy standing because 3 other guys got wiped out through a table or whatever. So it was like it just felt very rushed and like there wasn't any thought put into the execution. And I was disappointed to see that, if I'd have been there, in person, what the hell's demanding a refund going to do? But I probably would have been tempted to ask because it was just for that match alone, not worth it at all. So yeah, number 3.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, it's all valid points. One thing of note, though, about as far as, again, the Man in Black, Austin Theory has been long since rumored to be joining the Vision anyway. And I think that was something that was planned on happening prior to Seth Rollins' injury. And that's kind of what's caused this pivot in the plans and probably led to a pushback or delay in Theory joining the Vision because they obviously had to pivot and reestablish the group in a different context with Seth Rollins being out of the picture. Also, since, let's not forget, it's the Vision that kicked Seth Rollins out of the Vision. It was Braun and them that attacked him, so why the hell would he show up to War Games and help them win? Like, that's just not even consistent with Seth Rollins' character.
Yeah.
That these dudes are going to beat my ass and put me on the shelf and then I come back and help them?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Right.
Even if it means screwing over CM Punk. Like, no.
Right.
Like, none of that makes any sense for Seth Rollins.
I mean, I've heard rumors that they were going to add Austin Theory regardless. Like, this is before Seth even got injured. That was originally
that's what I'm saying.
The plan. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Austin Theory joining the Vision is something that was already going to happen.
Yeah.
It was just a matter of when it happened. Was changed because Seth Rollins got injured.
Right. And if you want to talk about surprise,
them to have to rework their plans.
A surprise, legit, like Logan Paul joining the Vision. Didn't see that coming. Didn't see it sticking either after War Games. Like, we talked about the other year. What if Bronson Reed never got injured after War Games? He may have stayed with the Bloodline after that and continued on. Who knows? That's what injuries do to you.
Oh yeah, that's a what if I'll always be thinking about because again, Bronson Reed and Jacob Fatu looked perfect together.
What a dangerous fucking team. Also, I heard Jacob Fatu should be coming back soon.
What's that?
Wayne said something about Fatu coming back. I'm interested on that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reports Jacob Fatu's on his way back. So, I mean, I would expect the Rumble being best time for, somebody like that to return. Tossing out the man who knocked his teeth out. So, suppose.
Allegedly.
Revenge. Yes.
Yeah, he is another one that's poised to come back. So, I guess we're pretty much done with this PLE. It was
Thank goodness.
underwhelming.
I think I was done with it before it ended. Like, I was done in the middle of it.
You definitely were.
I think
You
when
were.
Jay,
You started passing like before the men's Royal Rumble even happened.
dude, it was like as soon as Jay started running it back, I was like, I'm done. I'm ready to go to bed. I was fucking done.
What I call you napping during the
As soon as he says right back, all right, everybody get the fuck out. I'm going to sleep.
What was that, Tyler?
I said I thought you started napping like sometime during the Stephanie and Nikki match. If I'm being honest, like I just looked over at one point. I'm like, oh shit,
man. Well, do you fucking blame me? Do you blame me?
Not at all.
I mean, the only reason why I missed so much that was going on during that men's War Games match is because I had my fucking hands in my head in my hands. Like, oh god, again, we're running it back. Oh yeah. God, like, I was, like in the middle of the match. You know what? Let's.
No, don't blame you at all.
I would love to move on here and talk about this one thing that popped up in the news today. So, I'm gonna play you guys. Yeah. I'm gonna play you guys a clip, right? And I'm gonna play only a few seconds of it, and I want you to tell me what that clip, what WWE entrance theme does this sound like? Anybody figure it out? I'll play it again.
I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, I didn't hear a thing.
Oh, you guys didn't hear a thing. Oh wait, let me turn it up. Can you hear it now?
A little bit, but it's like only when you talk.
Okay.
Does it come through?
Really? Okay. Yeah, it's the way Discord is set up. Like music doesn't really. I think music gets kind of filtered out, so it's hard to hear.
Yeah.
Voices come through fine, but music gets filtered. So.
Well, anyway.
Even if you play it, we're not really going to be able to hear it.
Anyway, John Cena and WWE and TKO sued over iconic theme songs' alleged use of unlicensed horn sample. So basically, I
did see that earlier today. Yep.
I'm sure it'll show up. You can probably hear it on the podcast, but a little bit. Dude, a little bit. And the thing is, I guess they dealt with it in 2015. They settled for $50,000, but now claims should be thrown out because they withheld information about the long-term use of the track, including its use in a Toyota national ad campaign that aired just 2 days after the deal was signed.
What?
Really? Like, you're really gonna dispute this now? Like, 2 weeks out of his retirement match? Like, a little late, you know? I mean, I get it. You're gonna do what you gotta do.
Just the definition of petty is?
God, yeah. Do you remember when Yeet was owned by some indie wrestler? Boy, was that a dumb fucking mistake getting rid of that. I don't know how much money we discussed that too. He got paid.
Didn't the girl who started that try suing WWE as the originator of the Yeet catchphrase?
I think so. I believe.
Was it a woman wrestler? I thought it was a dude.
No, it was a male. It was a male. Yeah, it was a male wrestler.
Yeah. Then for 2 weeks or something, they took away Jay's Yeet, and then they realized, oh shit, we fucked up, and then they quickly settled up with the person.
Yep.
Hey Jay, you were right. We need this. Jeez.
Oh, man.
That's
which is kind of weird how somebody could even copyright, how that person could even try to claim copyright on Yeet, because Yeet is not new at all. Like, yeeting or that has been around since the 2000s.
Yeah.
Really?
Dre's been eating it up, dude, since the early 2000s. I recently started eating.
Dre just took me to school, I'm not gonna lie.
I was in college in the South in 2000s. and we would say Yeet.
Damn. So you were yeeting back in college.
Like, yeah, Yeet ain't nothing new at all. Like, this is not something that was just recently discovered.
Yeah.
Like, we would be down, like I said, like, we would say that shit in the college. We were like, oh, shit, Yeet! Like, and remember, legit, early 2000s, I was in college and we were saying that.
Lack of worldly knowledge on my part. Then I'll chalk it up to that. Because I thought this was something that was like fresh, like maybe in the last 2 to 3 years. You know what I mean?
No.
Something that WWE just capitalized on real quick.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say the WWE, because I mean it's probably something that originated with Jay and them. Like, I think Jay's even said it in interviews. Like he's been saying they've been doing the Yeet thing for years.
Right.
They just decided to incorporate it in his character, and it took off and such. But yeah, Yeeting ain't nothing new.
Yeah.
Like, I would jokingly say, like, people who think yeeting is new are probably the same people who think Miley Cyrus invented twerking.
Oh my god. Get the fuck out of here. Oh shit. Alright. I want to talk about this Raw real quick. So, what is notably one thing that you know that's really popular after, I don't know, War Games, Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, a TLC match? The next night, what are you supposed to be selling besides merchandise? Fucking injuries. Nobody had injuries to sell at all from War Games. But didn't
except for
what the fuck happened in War Games that was injury worthy?
I know. And didn't that bloody...
The only person who should be selling any kind of injury would have been the dude who damn near broke his fucking neck.
I know, right? He should keep out. Dude, could you imagine if he would have cut that promo with that neck brace on? I don't think I would have taken him very serious. So I guess now we're having Rhea and Io are like officially a tag team. Like, no more going for the women's world titles. Fuck that, right? Like, let's put them in a tag team, I guess. So we're gonna have. It works with Charlotte and Alexa. I don't think it's gonna work with Io and Rhea. They already get along.
Why not?
I don't know. I'd rather see them both. I'd rather see either of them going for a world title. I don't know if I really. I think all of a sudden our women's tag team division is going to get super saturated with like just all these tag teams. Because now we have these two teams. And then we also have Lash Legend and Nia is now a tag team. You know, we still got the Kabuki Warriors, of course. I just think we're going to get a lot more. Alright, I mean, if it works, it works, right? I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm on the half full. I'm on the half full. Like, I don't think I'm already gonna be bored with this tag team. Like, I liked Alexa and Charlotte because they were bumping heads a little, trying to make it work. Do you?
Right.
I much rather just see Io and Rhea in a world title picture. That's all.
Well, I was like, if you're seeing a problem with all these women in the tag team division, I gotta say, I respectfully disagree. I think the women's tag team division has finally become lit.
Finally,
like the way that shit ended on Raw, I was like excited. All these women came out, and I'm like, oh, over the women's tag titles, the most forgotten, arguably some of the most forgotten belts in WWE.
Yeah,
and now we got all these women coming after it. And finally, this women's tag team division is going to be interesting. Finally, these belts will become prominently featured because we'll have big named women going after it.
Right.
I am 100% on board with what they're doing right now with this. I am with it. Let's go. This will bring prominence to that, and it frees up other women to be in the world title picture because it's. The one thing nobody. I don't believe anybody should live permanently in the world title picture.
Right. Okay.
Nobody. Everybody has to step away from it at some point. Because if you're constantly living in that world title picture, eventually it's going to get boring. Because you're either challenging and losing, or you're winning and defending. Mm-hmm. You can't just be all that. Like, The Rock took a step away for a while, made Rock and Sock Connection, him and Mick Foley, and it worked, and it was fabulous. Stone Cold stepped away from the world title picture sometimes just to, maybe not for tag team reasons, but to feud with other people. So people like Rhea and Io, who already have a nickname for their pairing, Rio. People have been shipping them together for the longest. And now they finally say, like, yeah, we just going to keep going in this tag team thing and go after them tag titles. Does nothing but elevate the tag division and put a spotlight on these criminally underutilized belts.
Yeah.
And them getting involved in it, Charlotte and Alexa getting involved in it, Rhea, Raquel, and Liv, or some combination of them three getting involved in it, Kabuki Warriors getting involved in it. Like, this shit about to be popping. I'm here for it. Right. And not to and don't let us be remiss if we don't mention the fact that they put on a fucking banger of a match in the main event of Raw.
Yeah.
Women's tag match was a banger.
So
before all the interference came in.
Would you say that moment, the way Raw ended, was your what you think that's what Triple H was talking about? Epic? Was that what you saw happening being your epic moment?
Well, first of all, I have long since learned to tune out the hyperbole that Triple H speaks with on things. So when he says, "Oh, this Raw is going to be epic," I'm like, okay, I'll believe it when I see it.
I would be disappointed.
Right. If you're only disappointed if you believe him. If you don't believe him, then you ain't got to worry about it. It's going to be epic. Yeah, epic in lowercase letters. Sure. And as far as this Raw, was this Raw epic? No. And again, if it was epic, it was epic in lowercase letters. There was definitely some things that came out of this to talk about. One, the women's tag division. I think that was dope. Where they're going with that, that's probably about to be the most interesting thing in the women's division going forward for a while. Because women's U.S. title, ain't shit happening there. Women's Intercontinental title, probably ain't going to be much happening there. WWE women's title, until they give Jade a credible opponent, ain't nothing happening there. Women's world title, again, until Stephanie gets a credible challenger, ain't gonna be much happening there. So where's all the action about to be in the women's division? In them tag teams.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm cool with that. We had the men's world tag team match. Speaking of tag team belts that ain't shit happening with, AJ Lee. Well, fucking AJ Lee, AJ Styles and Dragon Lee had a pretty decent match with New Day, and we got a classic. Well, not a classic. One of the most creative. That's the word I was looking for. Creative styles clashes that I've seen in a while. That was a dope spot. Enough to make a whole show epic? No. Dope spot that kind of went somewhat viral on the socials? Sure. And then we got Braun Breaker cutting his promo, which some people were being very hyperbolic about, talking about, oh, this is the best promo. And it's the best promo that Braun Breaker has ever cut. Yes. He hit a personal best with that promo. But as far as overall promos, it was still just kind of okay. Not to mention the fact that, puberty kicked in towards the tail end of his promo.
Oh, dude.
And he went squeaker on us.
Yeah. You know what, though? Brock has done that a couple times. So.
Yeah. But for him, it was a dope promo. It was a good promo. It was a very strong promo. He definitely set the tone there for him and for him and CM Punk in this feud going forward. And props to Logan Paul for catching the mic after Braun bounced it off the ring.
Yep. Dude, that was awesome. That was fucking awesome.
Although he need to cut Ron Simmons a check for that damn.
Tyler, how excited were you when you got to see the Natalya and Maxine Dupree hype video?
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Lucky you.
I did not get a chance to watch Raw. Unfortunately, I missed it. What I will comment on, however, was like the women's tag division. I do know that for a little bit there, maybe over a year ago, maybe a year and a half, 2 years max, I would say there was an oversaturation of women's tag teams in WWE. I think they were more prominent on Raw.
Mm-hmm.
But, across the brands, there was just a lot of women's tag teams. And then it just felt like over the course of a quick month, they all disappeared. And then it was just a bunch of singles competitors, and now they're, teaming up. They're bigger stars. Didn't see Io and Rhea becoming a thing. Rio. Didn't really see that becoming like a permanent thing.
Yeah.
Was surprised that Charlotte and Alexa haven't taken a turn. I'll just throw that out there. I'm surprised it hasn't taken a turn yet, because I thought for sure that by now it would have happened. But, I think they're, much to what Dre said earlier, they're pairing them up, which is good because it gives the talent that, like we touched on earlier, Roxanne Perez, who has been a tertiary character. Well, now she doesn't have to fight with an Io, a Rhea, a Charlotte, who's typically in a championship conversation. It gives somebody like her or Raquel, that chance to go out there and maybe take a run at a title, whether it's AC, United States, World, whatever. So maybe there are a few up-and-comers that can prove they have what it takes to be a main event star and, hey, this is who I am. I won this belt. Where's everybody else at? That's about all I can really say as far as anything else. As far as what happened on Monday Night Raw, unfortunately, I will bow myself out of any comments or opinions because it's not. I wouldn't be fair for me to say.
Not true, because
Well, that's a.
Not true. I was gonna say because the way I want to close this, I want to discuss the last time and now tournament semifinals.
Okay, real quick before we transition to that.
Yeah.
That is a great point you bring up about a character like Roxanne possibly pursuing a singles title. And yeah, this kind of frees her up to do that. Although, if I was to speculate, given that they all got involved in the whole scuffle at the end, my guess would be that probably we'll see Roxanne and Raquel in the mix in this tag team thing. And going back to whichever one of y'all mentioned earlier, as far as Liv being back within the Judgment Day and the women now pursuing belts. If I had to speculate, we will probably see Roxanne and Raquel as a tag team, again, mixed up with all the others. And Liv Morgan might be the first real credible challenger that we see as she challenges Stephanie Vaquer for the women's world title. Because one thing we did see on Raw was, albeit a brief, Liv Morgan did introduce herself to Stephanie Vaquer. And I don't think that moment happened for nothing. I think that's probably what we're going to get is Liv pursuing the women's world title against Stephanie Vaquer, and while Roxanne and Raquel go after the women's tag titles, which if out of all these big name stars that are in the mix, if Roxanne and Raquel are the ones that come out on top, that's a big boon to them.
Yep.
If they say, they can say we came out on top with Rhea and Io in the mix, with Charlotte and Alexa in the mix, with Lash and Nia in the mix, possibly.
Yeah.
And if, Roxanne and Raquel are the ones who end up coming out on top, kudos to them.
Now, here's a quick question. Did Liv to relinquish her title, or did she lose that in a match?
Liv? She lost the title.
Yeah, she lost the title.
Okay.
She injured her arm
She
in a
lost
match.
the title. God, she lost the title a while back. She hasn't been women's world champion in a while. She lost it to Rhea.
Mm-hmm.
Rhea lost it to Io. Io lost it to Naomi. And then Naomi had to relinquish it, when she got pregnant. But I'll also say it's worth going on YouTube and watching that segment, that vignette with Maxine and Natalya. I thought that was a really, really well done vignette.
I have to do that right after this.
Yeah, I'm sure it's on their YouTube. It was actually really well done. I thought it was a dope little vignette. Made Maxine look tough. Almost gave you shades of that the Heart Dungeon. It gave you, it gave echoes of that. And Natalya, she in that promo, she looks like a tough badass in that vignette. And as I said in the Discord, if that's the Natty we get back on screen, whenever she, comes back on screen on WWE television, if that's the Natty we get, I'm here for it. That's the type of Natty that could actually go toe to toe with these women in the division and not just show up just to take an L every week. MMA Natty, she could get a bit of a revival if she incorporates MMA Natty into her character and not.
It keeps her fresh in a new way instead of just changing her outfit.
Right. Yeah, it could be a whole the outfit could coincide with a character change or repackaging of her and show her as being like this real tough ass grappler, OG status, as opposed to just I'm old enhancement talent coming out here in my pink and my black and taking L's. Black singlet, go up in there and get to scrapping with these women. That Natty I'm here for.
Fucking Natty.
That's all I wanted to add on to the Raw.
Cool. Yeah, only thing I want to...
Sorry, one last thing. Oh, never mind, you're going to talk about it now.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, Solo Gunter match.
Yeah.
Bang.
Yeah, dude. I was very happy with that match. Just the turnout of both of these. I mean, Jey Uso's didn't get the job done. He got pinned. He got rolled up, man. I think I think I like the idea better of LA Knight versus Gunther, and I totally agree, man. I enjoyed the Gunther solo match because you got two heels going against each other. Like, what heel is going to go over? Gunther was more of a face during this match because Gunther never really cheats in his matches. He'll just beat your ass clean. So to see him, doing a little dirty work to get the job done, but if Solo does it, like, why can't I, right? So just going forward here, right, we got LA Knight versus Gunther. Either or, man. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, I much rather see LA Knight versus John Cena because LA Knight isn't going to be a world champion anytime soon. I don't think he's ever going to be world champion. And if this is the one thing you can give him, short of maybe like a King of the Ring win or, I don't know, Money in the Bank win, like, at least give him this. Does Gunther really need it, though? does he? Like, to really pile on top of all the other accomplishments? You've already retired Goldberg, and I understand. Oh, it's just Goldberg. Yeah, but you've also the longest reigning NXT UK champion, the longest reigning Intercontinental champion, you know, a multiple time world champion. I just feel like Gunther just doesn't need it. It's just another notch in the belt. But for a guy like LA Knight, who's, you know, who never will reach those heights, like, give him this.
Oh.
And
if he's gonna win, like, King of the Ring or Money in the Bank, though, like, you're putting him on that same trajectory.
Right. I mean, but we've seen it. We've seen people go and win King of the Ring and then not go much further than that. We've seen somebody. I look at guys like Shinsuke Nakamura, who's won the Royal Rumble, and look where he is now. The man was the first one eliminated during SmackDown, during that elimination tournament. His Survivor Series match was on SmackDown. Some of these people, they go far, and some don't go very far. But I don't know. I just feel like at 40, what is he, like 45 or something? Like, man, the clock's ticking. The clock is ticking for LA Knight. You know, Gunther still got some. He ain't no spring chicken, but he still got some time left. I don't know. I know we're not going to get it, though. I know, unfortunately, I think they're going to give it to Gunther. I think that's the plan I've been hearing. I saw an article. John Cena's father is not happy about this, about Gunther getting the opportunity and most likely going over. I mean, it sucks that it's so, like, out there already. You know, maybe we're wrong. Maybe that's what they want us all to think. But, like, as far as a lot of fans know, is like, that's all we hear is like, oh, it's in the bag. Gunther's in the bag. I mean, we heard about this months ago. I brought this up a while ago about, you know, there might be a rumor about a tournament and the last match might be Gunther. But I don't know. Dre, what do you think, man? Like, what would you would you feel like LA Knight would deserve it if this is all he gets?
No, I agree with you completely. I've heard this argument from other people as well that, yeah, Gunther doesn't need this accolade on his resume, and it would be good to give it to someone like an LA Knight. I mean, I'm in agreement with you there. I mean, yeah. I honestly thought, I've said from the beginning that his last match should be with someone young, up and coming, and give them that rub. Not necessarily of, you know, retiring John Cena or, you know, I retired John Cena, I put John Cena out. It doesn't have to be about that, but just giving them the rub of, I was John Cena's last opponent, and I had this banger of a match with John Cena. Just giving them that platform to work and shine and showcase them in that on a platform that big. I thought it should go to somebody, a young up and comer. You know, my personal picks would have been either a Carmelo Hayes or an Obafemi. One of those two would have been, you know, my personal pick for it, because both of them are young, that next generation of talent, incredibly high upside for the both of them. You know, those, like, I would have gone with either one of those two, but obviously, you know, or it could have been a Braun Breaker, but clearly they already have plans for Braun Breaker. But yeah, obviously they're going to go the safe route with Gunther. And it's going to be John Cena versus Gunther. I would like, at this point, since it's down to those two, I would like it if they swerve us and surprise us and go with LA Knight. I'd be good for that. Especially, well, I'll be good with that if it happens. But it also makes me wish that John Cena had one more appearance before Saturday Night Main Event. Just because if we were going to get LA Knight versus John Cena, I want those two to have a promo exchange in the ring.
Right? Absolutely.
I want them to, before the match, just to have that face-to-face, me and you, and have that exchange before the match, just to give it that extra build-up and that extra hype. I think that would be far more interesting than John Cena versus Gunther. Like, again, I don't think John Cena versus Gunther is going to be a bad match by any means. It's not. It's going to be a good match. But I also just have no real interest in it other than the fact that it's John Cena's last match.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther, to me, adds nothing to the match.
Right.
LA Knight could actually add something to the match if there was time for those two to have an exchange of words on the mic leading up to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like that their promo would be very early 2000s WWE, considering LA Knight's like personality. That, you know, when John Cena came into the business, he might tap into that younger, maybe thugonomics-ish John Cena. But you said, Dre, what I was thinking was that somebody like a Carmelo Hayes would have been like a breath of fresh air instead of who we've been hearing this whole time. That would have been, I think, a lot more interesting as maybe a final outing for John Cena. Because those guys already have substantial star power to some extent. You know, Gunther's already held the championship twice now, the World Heavyweight Championship. LA Knight's been United States Championship. He'll probably have that again. Maybe more. Who knows? But yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. Rooting for LA Knight, though. I know that much.
Well, I guess we're gonna have to see, man. I mean, it's pretty exciting. We're at the bitter end here, man. So I guess tomorrow on SmackDown, maybe we'll find out who this masked man is. I fucking doubt it at this point. They might make us wait till Raw. What else do I want to bring up? Ooh, we have new shirt designs on the store. I did re-put up the NWO version and the DX version, but they do not have the QR code on the back, which makes them also a little bit cheaper, not having anything printed on the back. And we just have 2 new logos. We're coming up with a bunch of other logos. You know, AI is getting a little bit more creative and easier to use for me, so I was like finding out some cool ways to make new logos for shirts. And I think I'm just for now, because I think I might buy myself 2, and then after Christmas I'll swap them out to a bunch of different ones and maybe rotate them out every month, because we're allowed to upload multiple designs and run at 4 at a time. But I think we need to sell like 18 more shirts. So if we sell 18 more shirts, then we can put every shirt on the store. Every shirt. That'd be crazy.
I'm going to start posting forward around where I live.
Yeah, I want to definitely. And also,
I gave my thumbs up on the shirt design that I liked.
Yeah. For
was
sure.
it the DX one?
Huh? No, it was the first
DX?
one that he posted, the green one with that had the belt with the mic in them center.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, for sure. It's crazy. Like, it's all the different designs I'm coming out with, and being able to take like maybe some pictures of us at WrestleMania and animate them, which I thought was funny. I have one I did the other day of me and the Macho Man like pointing at each other. I thought that was fucking great. I still got a lot more to play with, but like they only allow me to make so many a day, which I think is kind of funny. So, but yeah, man, that's it. Like that's all I got. Go out there, buy yourself a fucking shirt, and for it's the holidays, buy your girlfriend a PCW shirt. You know, girls out there who I know we have fucking women listeners. I know we do. So buy your boyfriends a fucking PCW shirt. You know who you are. Dre, you
I was wanting to say it was from a boyfriend.
Yeah. Dre, you want to plug anything?
Just as always, Instagram.com/PCW podcast.
Very nice. Tyler, thank you for coming back, man. Thank you for filling in when Doyle can't. I appreciate it.
Hey, look, I'm always happy to be here, and I feel like we have a great conversation every time I come on. Not specifically when I come on, but listening to you guys go back and forth and review stuff and bring up stuff from the past is always cool, and I'm glad to be here and be a part of it. So thank you very much for having me.
Yeah. All right, man. Well, fucking board games. Let's get the fuck out of here.
War games. You are the world's dumbest son of a bitch.
The fact that day in and day out for almost 6 years I have proved to everybody in the world that I am the best on this microphone, in that ring, even at commentary. Nobody can touch me.
You are not ready for Oscar!
Because the Street Profits are up and we want the smoke.
You're next. Talk about your songs. Talk about John 3:16. Austin 3:16 says I just whipped your ass.
Well, let me tell you something, brother. Barack Lesnar. New Day.
The cream will rise to the top. Oh yeah, my Joe Madness here.
Welcome to the Kevin Owens Show.
Lately, he just hasn't been very oozy.
Because I'm the Miz, and I'm awesome.
Those rotten bastards.
Bye-bye, bitch.